Happy Thursday, Facebook friends. Welcome back to Facebook. I'm Angie Garza, Director of Professional Learning and Educational Services at ROE 47, serving Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. And if you're joining us back here this fine Thursday in September, you'll know that it's time for another edition of Teacher Talk. And as we kick off our 2024-25 school year, and by the way, season 5 of Teacher Talk, we are excited to share with all of our Facebook community all of the exciting events and programs and services that we are offering in the 2024-25 school year. And today's Teacher Talk is featuring a very special event that we have for a very special group of educators and administrators. So today we're going to find out a little bit more about our third annual Special Education Summit to be held Friday, September 20th at 8:30 at Sauk Valley Community College in Dixon. And to have these conversations, as always, I am so happy to welcome my friend, colleague, and co-host, Ms. Stacy Dingus, to our Teacher Talk platform. Stacy, Special Education Summit, it seems like a trend here that we're year 5 of our Teacher Talk series. We're year 3 of our Special Ed Summit. We've got a lot of great things in place that we're growing and we've been doing for many years now. And there's a lot of excitement generated around that.
Yes, definitely. The Special Education Summit coming up is another example of just what's good for kids. I feel like a common theme that we constantly have at ROE 47 is that we are breaking down the barriers of just what's happening within the classroom and realizing that really what's best for students is finding all of the people that are involved in the process, whether it be in the community or the home or the school, and informing them and teaching them different strategies and kind of more about the way a kid thinks and how a student can be successful in school. And this Special Education Summit is just another example of that.
It's so interesting as I reflect and think that 5 years ago, we did not have a lot of conversations around special education, which, is a little sad as I reflect and just, thinking about our upcoming Special Education Summit, as well as all of the other supports and services that we're able to provide to our special education teachers, our administrators, and our students and families, it is really incredible. And we cannot do that work without our special partnership with the Illinois Elevating Special Educators Network. So for our Facebook community, for those of you who don't know, we are a subgrantee of the statewide IESE grant. It's a federally funded grant that the Illinois State Board of Education applied for. And as part of that grant, we have a regional specialist, but we also have a very special team member who works in a very large area from Rockford all the way down to Peoria, our program advisor, Shauna Dingus. And Shauna is with us here this morning to talk a little bit more about our third annual Special Education Summit coming up here on September 20th, as well as some of the exciting services and conversations that the IESE network has planned for the 24-25 school year. So Shauna, good morning. I'm so happy to have you here. I'm excited for us to chat more this morning about the Special Ed Summit because we have a very special speaker and we have lots of breakouts planned for not only our special education teachers, but our general education teachers as well. So as we kick off this morning, if you wouldn't mind just introducing yourself or reintroducing yourself, because you are no stranger to our Teacher Talk, to our Facebook community. Tell us a little bit about what you do. And most importantly, I think, tell us about this summit. What are some of the goals of the summit? What can we maybe expect? Who is the summit for? All the questions about our third annual Special Education Summit.
Again, my name is Shauna Dingus. I live in Amboy and taught in Amboy for many years. And I've worked now with IESE for 4 years, bringing programming and professional development and support to our special educators in Northwest Illinois. So we are happy once again to bring the summit to Sauk Valley Community College. Again, Angie said, this is our third annual summit. And the real goal of this is to provide real professional development for all those teachers, administrators that work with our students with disabilities. And so too often, a lot of our special educators and even gen ed teachers and paras don't get the real training they need to help in the classroom, whether it's instruction, whether it's about behavior, whether it's about just being a case manager or collaborating with other teachers. There's all these things that a special ed teacher needs to know, or even a general ed teacher needs to know for working with students with disabilities. And so this day is a highlight of, an opportunity to come in and see a keynote speaker, and her name will be Kathleen Beachboard. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. And then have personalized sessions. There's over 25 sessions that day, and each participant that comes gets to pick 4. So whether you need more work in just how to write an IEP, maybe you're a brand new special ed teacher, or you need to know more about transition plans because you're, a high school special ed teacher, or you're new and you're really struggling with behaviors of students. We have sessions for everyone, and we're bringing in some of our top speakers of our IESE team again to speak, and they have great knowledge base, and it's a great day for special ed teachers to network with each other and, find other people, because too often our special ed teachers are almost siloed in their building. They feel alone when really they shouldn't feel alone. We're all in this together, and there is support for them. So it's critical that, we give these teachers the opportunity to attend, to network, to learn, to connect and grow as a special ed teacher. And because we have so many new special ed teachers, in the profession currently.
You mentioned the keynote speaker. Tell us a little bit more about this Kathleen Beachboard, who will be joining us at SOC on September 20th. Why is she a good fit for the summit? And then you also talked a little bit about these breakout sessions. So can you give us a little bit more information about maybe specifics, and if I'm registering, what I can look forward to?
Kathleen Beachboard, again, each year we try to bring in a nationally known speaker. And this year, Angie and I talked, what should our kind of goal for the year be? And we really felt hope was important to our schools. And hope is critical. All of our teachers really are trauma informed now, but it's like, how do we get from trauma informed to helping our students have hope? And so Kathleen Beachboard speaks to the science of hope. And so she actually has a book out called The School of Hope and is still an educator. And she speaks nationally about strategies and building resilience and hope in our students. And so we thought that was a critical piece that our area needs. So she's going to come in September for that keynote, but she's also going to come back for a full day in February. So we're really excited to have her and bring, new ideas of the science of hope to our area. And then you talked about the breakout sessions. It's very important. All of our special ed teachers, if you asked 5 different special ed teachers, they would need different things. And so that's why it's so critical for us to provide so many different ones. Everything from how do you collect data in the classroom to, like what is UDL and how do I do it in my classroom? Behavior, how do I write an FBA? There's so much difference in what we need. We even have a session, a new member on our team does a lot of self-contained classroom work. And so we even have, a class on that this time. And that's kind of newer because a lot of our area, inclusion is so important, but we also have kids that are self-contained. And so how do you, still fight and, advocate for your self-contained students with disabilities? So again, we have literally everything, brain breaks. There's just so many. There's ELA ones, math ones, just too many. And a lot of the details of, how to run an IEP meeting, what can that look like, how to write standard-based goals. So much needs to be known by a special ed teacher, and they really don't come out of college with those experiences. So we're helping provide resources and support for them in all the areas special ed. And also all of our team members for IESE are also people that have been in the profession. And so it's a resource for them, a support person that you can always contact later and ask questions, because we know things change and different things happen in our school year that we're not prepared for. So you can always reach out to our team members too.
You've talked about the breakout sessions and Kathleen Beachboard coming in her inspirational message of hope. So as I'm sitting here thinking about this, it is called the Special Education Summit. It's our third annual one, but in actuality, it sounds like it's not just for special educators. What might a general educator get out of the Special Education Summit, or why, if I'm sitting here and I'm a junior high math teacher, why would I sign up to attend a Special Education Summit? Can you speak to that? Because I feel like that's really important for us to kind of put on the table.
Of us came out and we basically had about one class in special ed, right? If we are a general educator. That's not enough to help students with disabilities in the classroom. And again, with inclusion being the law, least restrictive environment, it's important that we give training to all of our teachers to help all of our students. And especially post-COVID, we have more kids, and larger gaps. And no fault of our students, but that's what the reality of our classroom is. So it's really important that all of our teachers, our paras, our administrators learn more ways to help all students. And so, whether it's behavior, whether it's, how to do brain breaks, there's so much going on in our schools with our kids right now that we have to have different strategies. It's really hard to teach. Again, some of us that have been in the profession a while, right? Schools look a lot different than they did 5 to 10 years ago. And so we have to, change our schools and work to build more strategies for our students. And so I think it's critical for all of our teachers to have more training in special ed, because they're in our classroom. Our, students with disabilities are in our classroom, and we have to meet the needs of all students.
The Special Ed Summit is just one piece of kind of the puzzle of the work that IESE does. Can you tell us a little bit more about the Area 1 IESE program and some of your initiatives and your opportunities that are available to educators and administrators?
Like you said, Stacy, this is like one day of the whole year. And so it takes a lot of planning, but that's still just a minute, piece of what we do. We work with schools directly all over Northwest Illinois on whatever they need to help support, their teachers and their students. And so we coach new special ed teachers. We go in and help with building systems, because if our systems aren't developed well, then no one thrives. And so it's important that we look at our systems. And we also know, our administrators, when they become administrators, they don't have a lot of special ed background. So we can go in and help support that too. So this would be a great day even for administrators to learn, how does an effective IEP meeting even look? Because I'm used to what's going on in my district, but that doesn't mean it's an effective IEP process. And then we've also known, and districts have told us, that a lot of our small districts don't have true special ed leaders. They don't have a special ed director in their district. So we've developed cohorts for developing special ed leaders. So that's perfect for some of those strong special ed teachers in your district, or new administrators that want more special ed background. And so those cohorts have been critical over the last 2 years. The participants in those classes have loved them and really thrived on the conversations and the networking on how to improve special ed in all schools. We also run a targeted session for schools that are targeted to work on, learning about how to improve special education through use of data. So we have that cohort. And then we also have different learning series this year from the state level. And so we are doing math, ELA, behavior, IEP, UDL. So we have all kinds of learning series available, and those are all online monthly that you can sign up. And that's through the IESE network that you can get that and sign up. But again, all of our services are free. So it's important that districts, reach out, because we can come in and do para training. We can come in and do inclusive training. We do a lot of co-teaching training. It's important that we build collaboration between all of our team members to do what's best for all students.
I always say that we have hidden gems and the IESC network and the work that both you and Kelly do in our service area, as well as the IESC network across the state. You know that they're resources. You are resources that need to be tapped into, and we are kicking off this year's activities and supports and programs with our third annual Special Education Summit on Friday, September 20th at Sauk Valley Community College. Can you share with our viewers if they would like to register or learn more about the event, and or if they would like to plug into any of the other incredible services and programming that you are offering this year? How can they find out more?
They can go to ROE 47's website and go under programming to find it, to sign up. There's also going to be a link within this. And so you can look there, or you can also go to the IESE network website, and then you can see kind of the programming from the state also. So there's all these opportunities out there. So we want special educators not to feel alone, feel supported, and reach out, because there is support for you. And it's important to have that resource and support so you can do a great job with your students. It's critical for survival in our schools today to feel like, you have someone always to reach out to.
Shauna Dingus, Program Advisor for the Illinois Educating Special Educators Network, a special network here that we have in the state of Illinois, and special programming and services that we have here in our own Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside County service areas. And just to recap some of our conversations that we've had this morning with Shauna, the network and the services that we're able to provide are developing special education leaders, supporting our teachers, both special educators, general educators, and paraeducators alike, increasing access for students, and overall improving our school culture and systems. Shauna, thank you so much for all that you and Kelly and the network do across our region as well as across the state of Illinois. We would like to invite all of our Facebook viewers to register and attend our third annual Special Education Summit on Friday, September 20th at Sauk Valley Community College. As Shauna mentioned, more information not only about the event, but also about other upcoming workshops and training and support opportunities is available on our website at www.roe47.org, as well as in the context of this post. To close out our time here on Teacher Talk this morning, I want to end with a little quote that is kind of driving all of our conversations around this third annual Special Education Summit, and it is from Magic Johnson. All kids need is a little help, a little hope, and someone who believes in them. So thank you so much for supporting the children in Lee, Ogle, and Whiteside counties. And thank you so much, Shauna, for spending time with us this morning on Teacher Talk. On behalf of my friend, colleague, and co-host, Ms. Stacey Dingus, we would like to thank you, our viewers, for tuning in this fine Thursday. We hope you have an incredible rest of your Thursday, and even better Friday. A relaxing fall weekend as we're moving closer to October, and we will see you right back here next Thursday for another edition of Teacher Talk.